we were back in Key West, getting ready to do our dives, and we asked what they had available, and the guy behind the counter said, "Oh, are you going to be here for the start of lobster season?" I said, "Tell me more."
On my previous 28 dives, I've been drilled to never ever touch any marine life underwater. Having to catch lobster was a huge change. We had no idea what we were getting into. We had 3 people going on the dive, Arlo, Andrei, and myself.
We signed up for the dive and paid for our guide, who gave us a brief introduction.
Just get my attention, be like, big lobster, and I'll come over and I'll try and get it, okay? If you guys just want to practice with some smaller ones or something like that, then, go ahead and do it.
We decided to purchase 1 lobster assassination kit.
The lobster assassination kit consisted of a tickle-stick, measuring tool, a hand net, a mesh bag, and a pair of rubber gloves.
He's going to be inside underneath one of the ledges of coral. So you're going to go behind him, and you're going to tap his butt, okay? Because when you tap the butt, it's sort of like when they're in the wild, the larger ones stay in the back of the hole, and they tap the other ones with their antenna when they're trying to get out, so they move out of the way. So you get behind them, put this up against the coral, and you tap them out until they get over here, and then you can either just tap them into there, or if you scoop them, they swim backwards, and they'll actually just swim straight into the net. Put it down, okay? If you're holding it up here, they can swim back out. So make sure to hold it.
We're going to be working our way out to refi here, so we have a 25-minute ride out. 10 minutes prior to the arrival, the captain will let us know how fast that information to you guys. We're trying to give you a little early warning there so that way you can be ready to get in the water once we're on site. Especially if you are sitting close to the stern of the vessel, please try and be ready before we're there.
When you're on a dive looking for lobsters, you tend to swim around and look for little holes under the rocks, and what you look for in those holes are 2 antennas sticking out. And when you spot those, you know that there's a lobster in there.
Most of the little lobster holes we found would have 1 or maybe 2 lobsters, but we were incredibly lucky because the second lobster hole we found, there must have been 10 of them underneath this one rock, and there were 3 separate entrances. But we had no idea what we were doing.
We had only 1 lobster assassination kit. We really had to figure out a way to work as a team, and we had to do it fast.
We start out just jamming the stick under there and wiggling it around. We were swimming into each other and kicking each other in the face. We were catching regulator hoses on other people's equipment. It was chaos. It was a nightmare. But before long, we got our teamwork down and had one person tickling the lobsters out while another person would capture them with the net. And then 2 people would swim together, measure them, and figure out a way to extract them from one net and then put them into the bigger bag.
It's not until you tickle them out from under that rock, that's when you realize just how fast lobsters are.
And those suckers would jet off so quick.
And by the way, they swim backwards.
By the second dive, we could essentially have done it ourselves. I was getting pretty good at tickling them out of the hole, tapping them just in the right direction so they'd swim right into the net. And the only thing I couldn't do without the gloves was transfer them into the keeper bag.
All the chasing around after those lobsters paid off for us.
We had to let go any whose carapace were smaller than 3 inches and any egg-bearing females. So while we caught maybe 20 lobsters or so,
we ended up catching 9 of them.
I would have stopped at 4 lobsters, 1 for each of us, for dinner, but Oksana's brother wanted as many as we could possibly get. He was having a blast underwater.
And it was really fun to sit on the deck of the dive boat and having our dive guide count all of them, because we got really good sized lobsters.
Back on the dock, we were shown how to clean our lobsters.
Are you supposed to cook them first? Or does it matter?
Nope. Directions, so you stick the antenna up his butt, and you pull out the poop trash. It's called an antenna.
We ended up just putting ours on ice and taking them to a restaurant. They ended up cooking all 9 lobster tails for us and serving them on a huge platter, almost more lobster than we could eat.
And it was really cool to see it brought out on the plate, and all the people around us in the restaurant, they were like, ooh, look at that plate. For my brother, it was his first dive out in the open water in the warm water, and he loved it. He loved chasing lobsters, and he was so excited when we got out. He said, you know what, next year we're back in the US and we're diving again, diving for lobster.